Brandon, we got a show for you this evening. We got Brian Kennington in the house, and I'm your host with the most, Mick Rage, joined here with my co-host, Nolan Lederman. And we're excited about this. A man that's got so many, I'm sure, accolades and a resume that just keeps going forever and ever and ever. So I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and he joins us on the phone. Brian, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing just great. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. It is a little hot here. I'm a little shocked. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler here in the studio today, but it's me. It's you. It's definitely you.
It's me.
But we're doing well. We're doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Oh, I'm doing fine. Still surviving.
You staying out of trouble?
Well, yeah. I can't get into too much trouble right now.
No.
But, but with the hot weather, still been going out for walks, keeping distance, wearing the mask.
Yeah.
And all that. But
doing the whole mask thing and everything. Yeah, that's perfect. Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty crowded on the streets. You really try to keep your distance as best
absolutely,
you can,
absolutely. Yeah, and we want to keep you safe. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
so, it's
hot here. It's hot here today, by the way, too. It's about 28 today, I think.
Oh wow,
in the city. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's nice and warm for sure. Yeah, that'll keep your toes cooked.
Well, enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it. Yeah, Christmas is just around the corner.
That's right. No complaints here. I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can.
Yeah. We'll be saying hi to Santa Claus in no time.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah. And I guess especially this winter, normally you have an excuse. You can get away and go down south, but I don't think this year I'll be doing that.
Yeah, no. Like my wife and I, we like traveling to the States as well, and we usually do the summer things and go to Darien Lake and stuff. But that's all been put to kibosh and stuff. So it is what it is. So we've made do with what we've had. So we've been traveling Ontario and doing some provincial parks, which has been nice.
Well, that's good. That's good. You know what? And you're getting business up here, which is great.
Absolutely. So, for sure. I think we're going to do that a lot more. I think our plan was to be the snowbird people and retire here in the summer and then take off in the winter. However, that doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing. It might be a thing of the past. So, I don't know. I hear Vancouver is nice.
Well,
we'll see.
You know what? I think a lot of people, because not being able to go to the U.S., it's an opportunity to see our beautiful country. I know I have it.
That's right. Yes.
I hate to use the word being forced to go and see your own country, but it forces you to enjoy your own country. But you know what I mean.
Let's face it.
I'm not trying to say it in a negative way. I'm trying to say it's good because. You know what? I've never been to BC. I've never been to Vancouver. I'd love to go. Me neither. I'd love to go.
And say, most people want to go to Florida and LA and all these places, New York, and we have a lot to offer here, and even the East Coast, beautiful.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Oh, the East Coast. I've been pretty well to every province, and there's so much that each province offers. I've been to Vancouver, loved it. I was there once doing a show. 20 years ago. And we were there in February, and already the flowers were in bloom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There was rain, but I didn't care. It was still mild, It was great. It's like
they have weather like Ireland, right? A lot of rainy weather. I would say St. John's, Newfoundland has that too, but they get ass tons of snow.
Yeah, they get a lot of snow. It's a little colder out there. I've heard people have gone to Newfoundland in the summer, and they said even then it's cool and damp.
Yes, I had grandparents. They were from Newfoundland. I remember going there in the summer and seeing icebergs in the water.
Yep, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah,
but you know what?
Beautiful, but
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, but beautiful.
Water's a little cold. Shrink tank.
Yeah,
you don't go swimming in the ocean.
That's right. Yeah.
Hell no.
Well, right now I go down to Lake Ontario. We go down to the beaches once a week.
Nice.
And again, it's great. There's not a lot of people down there, and I do that little thing where I'll go and put my feet in the water. Just say I've been in the lake.
And
you've been in the lake. Yeah.
It's great. I live out in Cobourg, Brian, and we have a beautiful, beautiful beach there.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah, it's great. They just actually opened it this week.
It's a nude beach, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it's a nude beach.
I didn't know that.
No, it's not.
Listen, the last thing you want to see is this guy naked.
But
that's a lot of nakedness when it comes to me.
It's those little things, those little joys that you come to appreciate. I know I have. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, my sister lives in Cobourg. My sister mother-in-law, and they've been there for a few years.
So you're familiar.
I've been there. I'm very familiar. I love it. I mean, there's a temptation to move out there sometimes. But
Brian, I thought you were going to say, hey, my sister lives in Coburg. Do you know this person? I love when people do that, eh?
Well, it's almost small enough.
No,
I'm from Newfoundland. Do you know this person? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We know them all.
Yeah. I know. Oh, I know.
The Americans do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from Toronto. Do you know John?
Yeah,
but you know what?
True.
The odd time that has happened.
I bet.
Where somebody will ask me, and they say, "Do you know so and so?" And I'm down in Florida, and the guys, "Do you know so and so in Toronto?" I'm like, yes.
Yeah, of course I do.
Wow.
Hey, you know what?
I know
small world.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It really is.
You know what? It is a small world. We went to Punta Cana, me and my wife, one year, and we were sitting at the bar drinking with this couple for hours, just partying with them. And then finally, he goes, "Where are you from, man?" And I said, Toronto. He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, we're from Bowmanville. That's just on the outsides of Toronto. But when you go away, I don't tell people I'm from Bowmanville because people, what the fuck is Bowmanville, right?
Yeah.
Toronto, that's right.
So I say Toronto. Everybody knows Toronto. So I'm like, no, dude, I live in Bowmanville. I just say Toronto because of that. And it was actually, you know what? I've been friends with him on Facebook ever since. And that's been about 10 years ago. So it's pretty neat how you meet people, eh?
It's a small world.
Yeah.
It is a very small world.
It is a small world.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get your beautiful face on camera this evening. We had some
that's right.
technical issues.
Yes.
Is that what I should say?
Yeah.
With our sound, but we got you on the phone, and it's absolute pleasure, Brian, to have you on. We've been looking forward to this for a little bit here now. So I've got a couple of questions here for you.
Sure.
Now, you've got a massive resume, whether it be writing or on stage or on TV or voiceovers or whatever it is. You do it all, and you're a very busy man. Do you have a particular favorite?
Right now, I am leaning more towards writing, especially screenplays.
Yeah.
That's become more of my favorite thing now, and I'm getting work done. I was doing plays, and I'd still act once in a while if something comes up. But I really like to write my own screenplays, and I've directed a couple of short films I've written.
Yes, you've done a couple of short films. Like you've got Best Comedy Audience, favorite for a short film. Like you've got a bunch of awards.
We did win a lot,
That's nice. That's such a great accomplishment, especially for... now, you've been in the industry for quite some time, correct?
Over almost, I would say 40 years.
Actually, I have one of the things in my questions here for you as soon as I can find it.
Sure. Yeah.
You graduated from Ryerson Theater Program in 78.
I did, yes. That's correct.
In 78.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you feel old or anything, but that was the year I was born.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
that's the year I was born. So you've been in the industry for my entire life.
I was 6, Brian. I was alive.
You're alive then?
I was 6.
Yeah, were you?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Do you go into, like, when you were in college, did you know exactly that you were going to do this? Obviously, you got into theater, so you're going to get into entertaining. Did you think it was going to take you as far as it did? Did you think you were going to have all the awards? Did you think you were going to write as many stories or do as many shows or whatever it was? What was your view back then on where you wanted to go?
Right then, it was strictly acting. I wasn't even thinking of writing. Writing came years later. When I first came out, I was, thinking I was going to take the world by storm, and of course, every actor, you always dream about getting that Oscar or getting on that leading role in a film or starring in something. But it was hard at first, but, I did a lot of plays. There was more theater. Because back then, there really wasn't much film work being done. There was the odd film being done from the States that came up here, but the Canadians would get really, really tiny parts. There's the odd TV show. CBC was basically where all the productions are being done. So there was very little film work.
Yeah.
So basically right then it was theater. So, and what you had to do is, starting out, you had to leave town. Like I just said, you couldn't get a job in Toronto. So I had to go to Thunder Bay or Winnipeg or to Montreal to do shows. But it was great because it was a really good foundation. Got to do parts that other actors turned down. So you got some really choice roles. And it was good too in a lot of ways. You didn't have that pressure of performing in Toronto. So, you could fall on your face. Yeah. And if you gave a rotten performance, as much as it hurt, you sort of sucked it up and knew that, hey, I've got another crack at it. And, but it was great living in those towns because at first you're seeing Canada and, you're doing plays at night. So all day you're free. So you can go around and travel. And I'm a real history buff. So for me, it was great to go and see the sights. in town, and you learned a lot.
What is the best site, your most favorite site that you've seen while traveling?
Traveling for theater? I would think Vancouver. There was a theater called the Arts Club, and it was on a small island, which was just at the west side of town. It was a beautiful space, and it was great because around there was all kind of like a market, like St. Lawrence Market combination, theater, artists, musicians, street performers. It was really, really cool.
That's cool.
And I really enjoyed it. That was a fun time. We were there for 2 months too, and we were doing a tour then, and it was great. I said, the weather, everything else said, it was wonderful.
That's awesome.
So at what point did this all start to evolve for you, Brian, where you said, you know what, this is going to become a lot more than I ever dreamed it was going to be. I'm going to start writing. I want to start directing or producing. When did this evolution, when did it, you kind of start spreading your wings there and realize, wow, there's a lot of other things I'd like to do here?
Well, actually it started when my son was born, and he was born 33 years ago in 87. And I then made the decision I was going to stop touring and stop doing plays. And work was starting to build too. I was starting to get some film work, but I just thought, you know what, I want to spend time with my son. So
good for you.
I didn't. Well, thanks.
That's a tough decision.
It was a very tough decision, but I just felt family came first then. And so for quite a few years, I did nothing. And then when my son was older, he was in elementary school, and he mentioned to the teacher, that, my dad used to be an actor. So the teacher said, well, why don't you get Dad and come in and teach a class, just talk about drama. And I was terrified because I've never taught before. So I went in and I gave a class, but I realized just little simple things like improvisation exercises, little warm-up exercises. That was new to these kids. But for me, being from theater school, it was like, well, I thought it was a bit of a fraud because I thought I wasn't really teaching. But I realized for them it was new. And from that, I got offered to teach at a community center. And I was teaching kids drama basically from grade 1 all the way to grade 12.
Wow.
And we had a huge enrollment. And we did a few plays, and I get them from Samuel French, classics like You Can't Take It With You, with Shakespeare. But I realized I had to pay for royalties. So as time evolved, I went, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to write something. So I would write plays for the kids, and what made it even better was I could write things specifically for the kids.
Nice.
Knowing what their limits were or how good they were. And what was really good, it helped me mature as a writer, is they were very brutally honest. So if a line...
That'll be a kid for sure,
The kid would say, that shit. I wouldn't say that.
Out of the mouths of babes.
Out of the mouths of babes, especially teenagers. Because teenagers say, no, we don't talk like that. And I'm sort of in distance from it. But it was great because my son was involved, too, as an actor. So it was really neat as a father to be involved with my son. But we had some really, really good actors
cool.
in those groups. And about, I would say about 5 or 6 of them now are acting professionally.
Wow.
Which I feel really proud of these kids. They were really good to start off with, but I just sort of helped them move along.
Isn't it amazing that
it is.
You hear this a lot, especially in the music industry, but hearing you talk now, I guess it's very true of actors as well, or any sort of performer, where you have the ones that kind of made it and they're kind of like, let's call it A-list, but there are so many behind the scenes that are so incredibly talented that nobody's laid eyes on yet, that they're just maybe not in the right place at the right time, or maybe haven't made that right connection quite yet, but they have so much talent.
I'm sure there's
a lot of talent. There's so much talent out there, and just not only acting, but musically, dance, just everything. It's amazing because when I think of myself as a kid, I can remember in high school if many people could sing, and if they could sing very well. But today it's like everybody's talented. They can play, but I guess we didn't have those kind of lessons. And that support.
I think it's also become a little bit more mainstream and supported now than it used to be.
Actually, I've got a question here. I was going to ask you. Due to social media and the internet, do you think people and kids growing up now have it easier trying to get into this industry because of social media, and they have that outlet, like they can reach so many. Because back when you were starting, we didn't have this, so you reached whoever you could talk to. Where these kids can reach the world on the tip of their finger. It's absolutely crazy. You can literally blow up and go viral with the dumbest thing.
I mean, look at somebody like, I mean, I'm just pulling one name out of how many this has happened to, but look at Justin Bieber. Like out of a small little town in Ontario.
Because he started YouTube, right?
It went nuts viral, and next thing you know, he's
massive. Massive star.
And that's the thing. Yes. Social media has really changed the playing field.
Oh, it has for sure. Yeah, you're right. Justin Bieber, Lily Singh.
Yep.
She was doing her stand-up comedy, but she did it online and basically got a huge following. And she's got her own show. Yeah. Yes, because if she was doing the club route, she might have eventually been discovered, but it would have been a lot longer and a lot harder.
Yeah.
Lily Singh, I think does she have her own talk show now, Nightlight?
She does. That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I do know who she is. Yeah.
On CTV, I think.
Yeah. No, she's really good too. Yeah.
So
yes, she is. Yeah.
Brian, my soon-to-be 14-year-old son, who's going into grade 9, has decided that one of the elective courses that he's going to take is drama. He has he has an interest in this, and I don't know to what degree, but there are a lot of kids, male particularly, that are now stepping into these sort of classes. For those that actually kind of grasp onto, or maybe it grasps them, is maybe a better way of putting it, what advice do you have for these young kids that are kind of saying, you know what, I love this. This makes me feel great. I love doing it. I love making people feel great. What advice would you give them at that kind of age that want to pursue something like this?
Well, again, I guess it's commit yourself. If you're going to do it, go all out, and don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself and fall on your face. I think that's a very teenage thing. They're inhibited sometimes to say, "Oh, I'll look foolish." Especially, I know that when I was in high school, the reason I did drama is to meet girls. So you want to look good. You want to look good in front of the girls.
Hey, listen, that may be the reason, but hey.
Hey, Brian, how did that work out for you?
Not very well.
Yeah, but look what's happened to you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Look what your life has become.
No, it's fine now. You know what? And my wife was not even an actress. I met her years later, and she was actually a stockbroker. Yeah. So it actually worked out well because we're in two different fields. I think if it was somebody else as an actress, I think it would have been a little tougher because you're both sort of in the same field. But it worked out really well. But now It's funny. She's retired, and now she's on a second calling as an actress. And now she's done commercials and she's been on all kinds of things. She's actually one of my short films I shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she's really good. She's really good, but this is, it's part of her life.
Now, Brian, is she holding a gun to your head right now? Are you?
No,
do you have to say?
No, it's actually. You know what? She'll be surprised when she hears this later on.
I don't believe you said that.
She's in the other room, actually.
You know what? It's good to have good women behind you, right? When you've got such a strong person that'll stand behind you and say, "Go for it." Yeah. That helps, right?
It does. Yeah.
It's I don't think the general public, who, whether you're watching a movie on a big screen or you're watching a movie at home or a TV series or whatever the case may be, I don't think they really understand how much goes into whatever performance or whatever it is that you're doing. There's so many different factors. Like, as you know, Mick, I did that reality show Man Tracker, and it seems simple enough, but all of a sudden, there's cameras.
I did not know that.
And there's crew. And, it's going to be on TV in the U.S. Again, your head starts going, it creates a whole different thing.
Yeah.
It's more than just doing something, right? And it makes it incredibly hard. It gave me, and this is just a small nothing compared to what these guys do, but a different appreciation for for real actors, because
absolutely, it's not an easy gig. Yeah.
No, it is not an easy gig, and I think they get kind of a little bit of a bad rap that, wow, you know what, they make all this money and it's an easy gig.
But not all of them. Not all. It's a select few that make the mega money, but I know what you're saying.
Perception is there's money. It's an easy
they're
gig.
thinking that it's easy and stuff like that.
It's not easy. It's
absolutely
grueling.
not.
Grueling.
It's a hard fought process.
Yeah. It's like Brian said. You really got to go all in.
It's got to be 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to. It's like music too. Like my son, he also acts, but he's also in a band. And in his band, they're learning right now. Again, they're learning the same thing about promoting yourself digitally and basically on the internet, because they had some bookings this year and some clubs all canceled.
Yeah, that's balls.
But he's realizing now, by doing this, by going out on the internet and going online, they have to go all out.
All out. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, anything you do. But the thing is, have fun with at the same time. It's the ones that I do get worried about, that in any profession, who go all out, but they lose the joy and they're so stressed and they just don't have fun in it. And it's just like, why are you doing this? You've got to enjoy it. You have to love it.
Do you ever get to that point where you want to say fuck it and I'm done?
Yeah, I've been a few times. Yeah. There's sometimes, even as an actor years ago, you want to throw in the towel and just say, you know what, because you get, sometimes you hit a wall. I mean, not only as an actor, but the money's not enough, or you're worried about the next month's rent or getting a car. And then all of a sudden you start getting the material things that you want to save up to buy a house. All of a sudden you say, well, I can't do that as an actor, so I'm going to have to do something else.
Yeah, it's always something.
I think we all kind of go through that at some point in all our careers, right?
I kind of find the same thing sometimes with the podcast, right? Like, cause how hard I work at this podcast,
very much so.
And I mean, there's times where I've been in here and I'm like, man, is it worth it? Is it? But you know what? We have a good time. We get to meet interesting people. It helps me mentally, and as you're aware, this show is called Mental Case Dads, and what it is a show. I'm a bipolar host, and I want to show people that you can have a good time. You can be funny. You can meet funny people and interesting people, and still push through, right? Like you said, it's you always constantly got to get 110%. You're going to have those down moments, and you're going to have those moments where you want to say, I'm done with this shit. But the key is perseverance. Is definitely perseverance for sure. So
you're right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Brian? Do you have something on the go now? Do you have something coming up, or you're working on? What's in the future for Brian?
Well, I've got a few projects on the go. First off, I did have a film that had been optioned, a feature Canadian film, and we had a distribution deal in place. And in the month of February this year, we were getting prepared and in pre-production, and then the whole thing shut down when the pandemic arrived. And I don't know, maybe next year. Yeah, maybe next year we'll shoot it. But at the same time, I just keep writing. I've got another screenplay that's in LA right now being looked at by a couple of studios. And the last thing is, I'm actually working with somebody else on a children's book.
Oh, that's cool.
Fantastic.
Which is going to be done with illustrations, and we're going to also have it online as well as selling it, the book itself. But we just started that. We've written the first two books. They haven't been published yet or put out yet. But we're starting. We've seen the work. But it's fun, and it's great going back to that kind of route. Reminds me again of working with the kids years ago, where you're writing material for kids. Like, this is basically kids from 3 to 7 in that age range.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. It's actually, I can give you a little bit about it. It's called Harrison's Hat. And it's all about this little boy who's 6 years old. His name is Harrison. And his hat is magical. And when he turns his hat sideways, it lets him leap inside of paintings.
Oh, that's it's sort interesting.
That's cool.
It was actually another person's idea, so I'm helping with her to write the story.
Cool.
Melanie Younger created this story, and it's really neat because it's fun in the adventures when he goes into paintings, but it's also educational because we're picking paintings like Rockwell and Monet.
Oh, so there's an education, a very big educational component to it, historically, cool. Anyways.
Yeah, and Harrison learns something, uses a message in it. Like one that's really fun one that Melanie came up with was Harrison's dog's feeling ill, and they got to take Harrison's dog to the vet, and he's worried about his dog. And then he gets this book in front of him. It's Rockwell paintings and a picture of these animals at a vet's office.
Right.
So he turns his hat sideways and goes into the painting and then gets to talk to the animals and finds out what they're feeling sick about and what's wrong. At the end of it, he realizes, the vet's not so bad because he made all the pets feel better. So when he comes back, he knows when he goes to the vet with his dog, it'll be okay.
Brian,
cool.
So I thought
this sounds like an animation. This sounds like a cartoon.
it could be a cartoon. I think that's the potential. Right now, it will be a book with illustrations. But yeah,
it really
cool.
does, because it sounds like you have a character here with an ongoing a lesson to be taught with every episode.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's a really. I love the hook.
I should write a book to teach you lessons
with the hat. Well, it's take more than a book.
It'd be a full novel.
Yeah. No,
That's interesting.
But that's awesome.
No, yeah, it worked out, and it's nice right now because we can do it because we are isolated, so we can just correspond back and forth with revisions, and to get people. I'm going to have it also. We do it on audio version when we put it out online. Somebody will read it. So the parent has a choice of either you can have a narrator narrate it for them, or just turn off the narration and
That's cool.
the parent can read, or the child can read if they're that age.
Do you have some sort of timeline in mind of maybe when this may launch?
Well, we're hoping we can launch it within the next couple of months. We're aiming for probably October, if not November.
Well,
Good.
Brian, please let us know here,
and we'll,
because
I will
promote it.
I have a little boy who just turned 6, and he, by the sounds of what you're telling me, this is right. He'd love this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, great! And what we're going to do is we're also going to have a website, and we're going to have a Facebook.
Oh, let us know.
That's cool.
We'll put it out there.
Harrison, right? It's going to be called Harrison's Hangout, and we interact with the kids.
Oh, I love it.
So kids can send in things, comments, or what kind of story would you like to see? So we'll make it interactive.
Fantastic.
Harrison's hangout.
Yeah.
Harrison should come see my garage. This is pretty cool in here.
Mixed hangout.
Yeah. Now, Brian,
there's a story. Yeah.
you have had you've got lots of awards and things, right? So when you win an award, are you like me, where you're not such a gracious winner, and you'd be like, yeah, bitches, I won it and I deserve it, or are you more graceful?
I'm going to say he's probably more graceful, but I'll let Brian answer, but that's my guess.
I try to be. To be honest with you, when I made the first short film, I made it 3 years ago, somebody said, enter it in film festivals. I said, well, I don't know, maybe we'll just put it on YouTube. And somebody said, no, enter it. So we did, and I think it really did blow me away. I wasn't expecting to win.
Good.
And a matter of fact, we did go to some places, went to Birmingham, England, because they said, why don't you come? Because, they had a big, huge awards thing. I thought, well, what a good chance to go to Britain. And we won. And it was like a huge Hollywood, like a Globe Award banquet. They bring us tables having dinners, it's like 300 people in the room. And, I didn't know who was there. And later on, I'm finding out that there's a guy from Duran Duran there, and these other British actors who were one of the guys, and Peaky Blinders. And I'm going, I don't know they're there. And I'm up there making a speech. But, when I was there, it was very humbling. And I remember I took a picture of the award and I sent it home to people, because it's kind of cool to be in your hotel that night and it's hard to go back to sleep.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's funny. You don't think about getting the awards when you make them, but it helps, because when you send out a screenplay or you're applying for something, you can say you've won these many awards. It does help.
Yeah,
but
sure. It's part of your resume.
But it's funny. This is a little side bit. When I was at Birmingham, I went up to the box office and I met this guy, and he was another filmmaker, and he was doing tickets that night. And we started speaking, and he looked at me and says, "You're from Canada." I said, how did you know? How did you know? Yeah, and I thought, I'm not American, but I'm Canadian. Because he said, "boot" instead of "out." And I went, "No." He said, "Oh, yeah, you went a boot."
No,
and I went, I hear that all the time that we stand and say, "No, we don't. We say out. We say about." And he said, "I said oot." And I went, "Really?" To their ear, I guess that's what it sounded like. But I just sort of
because I've heard it too, and I've always said they're full of shit. I've never heard a Canadian say a boot.
No,
I agree. But I guess to their ear, hearing a Canadian, I know I'm like, I don't say a boot.
I don't think
you did.
Yeah. I've never heard a Canadian say it. But I've heard it my entire life. Right? The A thing I get, because I say it myself.
Yeah.
A.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know where we got that from, but
I don't know.
It's there.
I have no idea.
So
it's there. It's been there.
The same question.
Yeah.
If you were to win, or you were supposed to win, and someone else win, do you do you take it on the chin and say congratulations, or are you like, that jackass did not deserve to win that award?
Yeah.
That should have been me. Has there been times like that where like you felt like, shit, I'm the better person here? Come on.
Yeah, there were times like that years ago where I was almost a jealousy, resentful thing of anything, acting, or why is that guy got that? Why is that guy acting or not? He stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there were things like that. But as I got older, I realized, I said, you know what? I said, if I won something, somebody's probably going to point their finger and say the same thing about me.
I gotcha.
There always is.
Yeah, there's always.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, there always is. So I said, you know what? I said, we're in a business that shouldn't be competitive. I remember my drama teacher at Ryerson said to me, "You're not there to compete against others. You're there to compete against yourself."
Oh, there you go.
And I keep remembering that. I said, don't be looking at other people and judging them. I said, we're all in the same profession. We're all in the same boat. We're out there trying to do it. And I think, again, it's reciprocal. If you support other people,
that's cool.
One day it may come back to you. And but I feel good when I help other people. I guess now I've reached an age.
Well, the thing is you're there to entertain, right? And the more people that we have entertaining us, the more we're entertained. So,
Exactly.
like you said, you're all in the same boat, all in the same business, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's and it's the arts. It's fun, and again, it's funny. I always used to say to kids too when we were doing drama, you can never be bad in drama, because what you're doing, somebody's going to see it and say it's good. Because you're never going to get 100% people agreeing that something is brilliant. There's always people who are divided about things. I can say Daniel Day-Lewis is a great actor. There's always somebody that says, no, he's not.
Yeah.
So I said, don't think of yourself as being bad in drama. It's you. It's what you're bringing to that role or that presentation that's you. And same with music and dance. Just be yourself, because everybody's different, and everybody has a different way of reading a line or saying a line or how they want to, again, it's based on life experience. Like if somebody says to me, I want you to play a homeless person. Well, I've seen different homeless people in the streets as opposed to somebody else. They've seen different.
Yeah.
So we all have a different way of looking at it.
Opinions are subjective.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So when you do the performance, and that's where you see something really interesting. You see something go, wow, I like that choice that guy made. That's really interesting. And
nobody's ever said that about me.
I know I haven't.
Nobody's ever said, hey, I'm glad that guy made that choice.
Yeah.
Hey, what can you do, right?
Yeah. I had a few parents say that to me when I was a kid.
Parents are the worst, man.
So you know what? I gotta ask, because I always ask this question when we have someone on who's in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
When you decided this is the path you're going, what was the support like from home?
From family?
From family.
Friends?
Did they say, Brian,
you're an idiot?
Like, what happened? Or were they supportive?
They were. My parents were incredibly supportive.
Oh, you're lucky.
All
That's
the plays.
awesome.
They were very good. No, I'm sure they behind closed doors. They said, "Oh my God, what is he doing?" And why is he? But no, they were really supportive right to the end. They're both gone now, but that's a very fond memory. And even my brother and sisters, they would come to shows. Sometimes my brother would tease me, and say, everything was good except for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I knew where it's coming from.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
exactly what a brother's supposed to do.
Laugh. Yeah, and I'm the baby. So when I have all my older brothers and sisters come, they're very supportive. But it's okay. I don't mind getting teased. I even have some good friends who'll see me in something and said, yeah, the show was great. You were okay, but the show was great.
Yeah. So when you have a big family reunion, it must be like a big senior citizens home. But a bing!
Oh, yes, it is. When I said, I'm the baby, and I'm 65.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And I'm still the baby.
And you're still the baby. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm still the baby.
Do you come from a big family, or?
Well, there were 4 kids, including me, and then my parents. Yeah, 4. So
Well,
family of 6.
Yeah.
And in the good old days when I was a little boomer, that when we traveled in the car, no seatbelt, there was 6 of us packed in a Ford, and I'm sitting in the front seat between my parents, no seatbelt. I'm going, we survived.
One kid lying in the back window.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. Yeah, that's awesome.
Or sitting on the armrests that come down, for the seats. You sit up on that little hump there. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember sometimes driving, and we were traveling in the theater group that we travel in a van. We had a 2-seater at the front in the van. Usually it was one of those cargo vans. and I would sit in the middle on a milk crate. Traveling, and there we are traveling in northern Ontario. Oh man, I just say I was lucky. Nothing happened, But,
yeah, but also, man, I'm sure you didn't realize as much then as you realize today what the danger was.
Oh yeah, no, we weren't thinking that. Shoot,
gonna live forever. I think that's today with the pandemic. I think there's all the young teenagers that are walking around going, they're not worried.
They're not worried at all.
No,
I think we're okay on this side of the border, and I don't think we'll be crossing the other side of the border anytime soon. I can't see them opening that side up. Honestly, probably in the next couple of years. I really don't see it. I just can't unless something happens with the election coming up.
I feel like our world has changed.
The world has completely changed. Yeah, it's a different place to live right now,
and I don't think we'll ever quite get back to what it was.
It's movie-esque. It's very.
You can't write this.
It's so like, yes.
You can't write this.
If an alien popped to the sky tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised.
I tell you.
God, I know. Everything happened this year.
There's going to be a movie called 2020.
I think probably already is.
There could be several, actually.
Well, what's funny? I was just reading an article down in L.A., and all these studio executives and producers all said, please do not submit a script about COVID-19. That's the last thing we want to read right now. They're actually saying they want the opposite. It's almost like being back in the 1930s Depression, where they're looking at comedies, uplifting, spiritual things. They want
makes sense.
Good stuff.
Feel good stuff.
It makes sense.
Feel good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like me who freaking I've watched every documentary and read everything you can possibly read on COVID-19 and pandemics, and I just stick myself in this stupid bubble and sometimes panic over something stupid that I can't control. Right?
When this whole thing started, I was like, it's all being blown out of proportion. Everybody
I'm sure a lot of people
calm down.
Yeah.
Then the reality set in as to what we're facing, and then I panicked, and now it's kind of like, okay, it is what it is. We're going to do the very best we can, but at the same time, while being smart, we need to still live our lives.
Oh, absolutely. Right? Yeah, we got to move on. For sure.
We need to move on, but we need to be smart about it.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% correct on that. No, I wish they would hurry up and get... my biggest thing when they friggin' shut everything down was they're shutting the movie theaters down. I was like, how the hell am I going to get my popcorn? Like, I enjoy that movie theater popcorn.
Well, I actually went to the theater yesterday. I went and saw Tenet.
Nice.
And, but you know what's funny? My wife and I went, and a friend came along. And there's just three of us in the theater. This is Silver City at Yonge and Egg, and there's just three of us in the theater.
Wow. And I'm hearing that. I'm hearing people going, and they have the whole theater to themselves, literally.
Yeah. We could talk and comment and say, lean over and say, did you get that?
It's like watching at home. Just way bigger.
Way bigger, and I love the big screen. I love to go to the theater.
And you know what that brings me? Well. That brings me to the point I was just about to make. Would you agree with me when I say, if one of the things that we've taken, I hope we've taken from this whole pandemic experience, is all the things that we have taken for granted. When you talk about the theater, movies,
going to dinner, like
these little things that we take for granted that make us feel good, that kind of takes us away from the stresses and hustle bustle of everyday
the real life.
Right. When they're taken from, how much they mean to us.
Well, that's why mental illness is such a huge impact right now when it comes to COVID and people being down and out, because when you suffer from mental illness, it's tough to fight something like this when it's the unknown. It's when you have in your head you don't know what's going to happen next. That's where the fear sets in, right? But when there's multiple outsources that you can look into to get help and talk to somebody, the key is talking to people, right? And educating yourself on it. And I'm talking about, doesn't it have to be COVID? Just educate yourself on whatever you want to learn. Reading and educating yourself is just going to help you succeed more, right? So that's what I've had to do. I've just had to kind of educate myself on, okay, how can I be the safest person for my family when I'm home and when I'm outside work, right? Now, I don't know. I get it. If I can get into a theater, I'm laughing. I'm never leaving again.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. I know you're right when you're saying about the things we take for granted. I mean, I know just going for a walk for a while there, we weren't going outside for a month. To finally go outside and just go to a park And just,
Little
I know
things.
everything's changed. And again, you're right. Reading about COVID, but reading more things. I think I saw something this morning about suicides. That there's been an increase in suicides in the last 6 months. It's horrible.
Absolutely
horrible.
And it's funny how times have changed, because when I was in high school, I can't even remember anybody committing suicide.
We didn't hear about it as much, right?
Maybe not, and maybe not. It was kept quiet, but there weren't that many deaths, period, when I was in high school. There were very few car accidents or anything like that.
Yeah.
But when I think about today, it's like, holy smoke.
It
just
is.
Really, it overwhelms me sometimes, and I just think about it. And it's sad, because I always think that, I always think there's always a solution. I'm very optimistic about things.
Absolutely.
And I feel there's always a light. They say light at the end of the tunnel. Even in the morning when I wake up, I don't feel great. I do things just to get myself up again.
Yeah,
and
there's nothing wrong with being idealistic, Brian.
And Brian, I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if you know this, but September is Suicide Awareness Month. And so we've talked about it in the last couple of podcasts, and I've been posting every day something about Suicide Awareness Month, just to bring awareness.
Yeah.
And the key is, like you said, to talk about it and just to push through. Right? There's someone to talk about. And if you're out there and you're listening to this and you need to talk to somebody, please call your crisis hotline. Please call 911. Talk to somebody. Talk to a friend. I don't care who it is. Like you said, Brian, you're being optimistic. There's always a better solution. There is always a better solution. Okay, you're not alone. There are people out there to help. So yes, please call. Thanks, Brian. That was
well
good.
said.
Yep.
Well said. I mean, I agree. It's just it's such an important thing right now. And I'm sure lots of people who are basically feel trapped at home can feel depression and feel down. It's very hard right now. But just if you can just think of something that I always say sense memory. Think of something like a pet you had, or something you saw, or some wonderful moment in your life. Yeah. That can help pull you through.
Yeah, I have a friend. Actually, he's an associate, a colleague that I work with, and he has this thing. It's called a kudos bank, and he says, for all the times when he goes, put some great memories in there, whether it was a vacation or a memory with a family member or a friend, whatever, or an award you won. Just store these all in this bank, and when you go through these moments where you're not feeling so good about things, or yourself, or you're down and you can't get out of that funk, go to that kudos bank, go to that good memory bank, and pull out those memories. So remember, there is still good. There's something to look forward to.
Cool.
It's a good little thing to have.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is. That sounds great.
Yeah, that is cool.
Great.
Brian, what do you when you go on holidays and stuff? On a lighter note here, what are you doing to chill out? Like, do you travel? Well, like you said, you used to travel outside of Canada and stuff, but that can't happen. Are you reading a lot? You just chilling?
Reading a lot, chilling. It's funny. I finally gave in and subscribed to Netflix. So I'm catching up. I'm all
that'll keep you busy.
Binge
Brian, I'm going to tell you right now, you're fucked. You're never going to leave. You're never going to leave your house.
You're done now.
I know. It helped. But my wife and I agree, and everything. Watching it was great. What do you want to watch? Well, let's watch this. Yeah. There was, and I love history. And again, there's a really good series just watched called The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
It's all about Alfred the Great.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great one.
Danes and I love it.
There's some great content on there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're right. A lot of good stuff. But reading. I said a lot of times just going for walks. And again, I correspond with a lot of people either by email or calling. I've got friends all over the place, and it's great because an alumni isolated. There's a friend of mine who lives up in Elliott Lake, so he's sort of isolated there, and he doesn't have a lot of friends. So we're in communication all the time, and we're sports nuts. So we're always talking about the Leafs. The Jays.
Brian, don't get us started on the Leafs here.
Okay. Well,
we're still hurting over here.
What do you mean we? You're not even a fan anymore.
I'm devastated.
I was 12 years old when they won the cup, and I'm thinking then, they won.
At least you've seen one.
Yeah, you've seen one.
They won 4 in the past 10 years. I'm going, they'll win another one. It's coming up.
Oh my God,
got to.
So
does it? does.
This is killer. I'm telling you, it's hard. But you know what? I always say, wait till next year. I still think they got a good core.
Sure, we
just have to got to get some more toughness in there.
I think that's the only thing they're lacking is toughness.
Yeah, and I think the window's closing a little bit. I think we have like maybe a 3-4 year window, and then that's it.
And then we start all over
again.
Yeah, and you start all over again. You know, you're right, because my feeling, I'm feeling about Matthews is he signed what, a 5-year contract?
He's going to end up in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I said, you know what? If they don't do much, then he'll be gone.
Yeah, and even if they do,
after his 5 years,
even if they do and they win one or maybe two or whatever it is, I think at the end his end game is to go home, play in Arizona, and finish up.
Yes,
there.
Because I was thinking as soon as Johnny T's contract is up, Matthews gets the C.
It won't matter. At the end of the day, Matthews will go home.
He's going to go home?
Of course he's going to go home.
Yeah, there's a lot of people feel that.
Kudos to him. I mean, I get it. If you want to go home, you got to go home. Right? Kawhi Leonard did the same thing with the Raptors. He came here. He won us a championship. We love him. And he went home.
Kawhi went because he's a real, true L.A. homeboy. He's just the way Austin is a real, true Arizona.
From Arizona,
homeboy.
that's his home. I get that.
He spends all his free time there. That's home for him. That's truly home. Just like JT came here, this is home.
I think the only way that would hurt me the most with the Matthews thing is if he had won a cup with us and then left the next year like Kawhi did. I knew Kawhi was probably going to leave because we only had the 1 year contract.
1 year with him.
But I thought once we won the championship, we would get another couple of years out of him just to do defend the title kind of thing. But that didn't happen. Yeah. And look, we're the LA Clippers now.
Number one.
They're not going
number one.
Number one. Actually, I think the Raptors game is on right now. I don't know the scores there. They have to win tonight.
They have to win tonight.
I thought they had it wrapped up in game 2. But
a lot of the team did make a statement and said, "You know what? We're just not in it. Our headspace is not in it, and it has a lot to do with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that's going on. It's affected everybody over there, right? So
it has.
And I understand that. So
they actually, Nick Nurse was in a conference shortly after some of those games got postponed, and his comment was that of course they stand with the other teams and players in the NBA, but interesting comment was that a big chunk of his players actually came to him one-on-one and said, "Coach, all things aside," and this is just coming off a 4-game sweep of Brooklyn. We want to go home. We want to go home.
Really? Wow.
So, I think it's taking a lot. They have to dig deep to kind of find that passion again.
Not only with everything that they're going through with the Black Lives Matter movement, it's too being stuck in a bubble without your family. Yes. But however, the NBA has opened up that bubble now to their family. Their family can come.
No,
is it one or two?
One member per player per game.
Is that what it is? One member?
One member.
Well, I thought it was more, but at least it's somebody,
but
right?
It's tough.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that because I saw his daughter, Kawhi's daughter.
Well,
Freddie Van Vliet's daughter there.
Van Vliet. He saw his daughter run up to him. That was beautiful to watch.
Yes,
I just think the whole
I know it's hard.
Complexity of everything and
it's a lot. It's a lot to take.
It shifted the momentum right out of us.
Well, it's completely taken their mental capability of playing a game out of the game, right?
But
their mind is somewhere else.
I don't look at it like, listen, I'd love to see them repeat, but I think to some degree, I sit there and I applaud them and say, you know what, good on you that, it's something else is coming before the game. And I'm a sports fanatic. I love it. It would kill me to see, a season not finish or a season not start. But, when it comes to family and other matters that we're dealing with, challenges that we're all dealing with together.
I know.
They're putting that first. It's a little refreshing.
And whatever players are listening, we support you guys, whatever your decision is.
Well, 100% what they do.
We support you. You guys entertain us. Year after year after year, and we stand with you and understand that family comes first, and if you mentally can't handle it no more, it's time to go.
Yep,
it's time to go. Your health and your family's health comes first. So,
well, it'll be interesting in history about this whole season for all sports. we'll have that asterisk beside it because they're all abbreviated season, and especially baseball. Just 60 games. It's going to be interesting to see how this is looked at.
An argument can be made, though, for all sports. This will be the toughest seized year to ever win a championship. Arguably,
that is true.
With the challenges that have come over and over, different challenges, and to still persevere and win a championship, in my opinion, the asterisk should not be a negative. It should be, this was the hardest year to actually
with
take
the
something.
NHL on that 2014 map that they had. That's huge. That was huge.
What happens there, guys? Like, they're going to finish the Stanley Cup's going to wrap up in about a month?
Well, I think they have 2 weeks off. They go back to work.
And then I was going to say, what they get a couple weeks off,
it's
and
like
then
2 weeks, and
back to training for the new year.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hearing they're not going to start till January, right? Because they still have to do the draft.
Right, but here's the thing. So if they finish the end of September, they're going to have, let's say, October off, and then they're going to start mini camps probably in around November, and December full-fledged to start in January.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, so it'll be again. I'm not sure if they can do a full season. It'll probably still be abbreviated. I don't think they want to go into this again next year and have it finish in September.
They may.
No, they're definitely not.
They got to get back on track, right? So maybe they'll go from 84 games to.
It sucked anyway.
60.
It was nice to get those games back, but when you're in the summer and you're traveling, like trying to go camping and shit like that, having playoffs in the summer sucks.
I always felt
it didn't feel the same. Yeah,
hockey should start. It should start earlier, and it should finish in the summer. It just
finish when it's snowing out, man.
That or finish. Finish in the fall. In the spring.
Again, we get sidetracked when it comes to COVID because right now that's the boss. And but I agree. Yeah. Finish in the winter, but
well, it used to. It used to finish in April when there was a 6-team league. And then it sort of extended more and
Brian.
There you go. And people, it was a great time because those playoffs, they were fast. I mean, it went fast because
I bet.
Wow, how the games changed.
Four teams played. That was it.
That's crazy. Like the league has come so far. It's absolutely impressive.
True of all major sports.
Yeah.
Well, now baseball. How about 16 teams make the playoffs?
16. Is that what it is? 16
and I think you know what? It's going to be great for baseball. These smaller market teams have a shot. Yeah. They can get on the stage, and I think it's great.
Jays are doing all right.
Yeah. For right now, for abbreviated season, I think it's a great idea. I don't know if they'll keep it when it goes back to normal, but certainly a great idea right now. I agree, especially for television ratings.
I was going to say, I think if we see these smaller market teams make it in and the ratings stay strong, I think this may be something from a revenue standpoint that they can't ignore.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. But I like to listen. I'm don't judge me. I'm a Yankee fan, Brian. So I've lived a good life.
I forgive you.
I've lived a good life for a long time. But
you have, yeah.
You're an idiot.
But you know what? But I respect the Yankees, though. I do respect them because again of their history, and again, you think Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth.
Oh, Mantle. Yeah, it goes on. Yeah, but you watch these like these small market teams. You watch like San Diego right now. I'm excited. I'm happy for them. Like this. Since Tony Gwynn, I don't remember the Padres being in the playoffs. Like I just don't picture it. And here they are, and they're a World Series contender now, and I'm excited for them. And I'm not a Blue Jay fan. My fiance, she's a diehard Blue Jay fan. God bless her, but I can't stand it. But young guys, a market that's just. There's really been no support, but they're making something of it, and it's exciting. And you can't help as a sports fan be excited about that.
Yeah, and that's why I liked it about 5 years ago when Kansas City won, and they were a small market team for a long time, and they had a great dynasty back in the 70s and 80s.
Sure, yeah, you remember when they came back on the Blue Jays from 3 games down?
I try to forget, but that's okay. We've won some World Series since then, so I sort of forget those.
And when they knocked off the Jays in 2016?
15,
15.
We were going, the World Series. We were Eastern finalists. Oh, man, that was a heartbreaker.
You're such a dick.
I feel for you guys.
You know what? Yeah. This is Brian, I don't even know why I like this guy. I don't know.
That was an amazing year. You know what? I'm telling you the truth. I was there that day of the game. when Batista flipped the bat.
Were you there?
You were there?
I was there.
Oh,
and I was
shit!
That's monumental.
I was in left field in the second row of the second level, and when he hit that ball, it was coming right towards us.
Oh, no!
And I said, "That's a home run." Home run, and I'm watching, and I didn't see him flip the bat because we were going.
You're watching the ball.
You're watching the ball. Yeah,
watching the ball, and somebody about 4 rows in front of me got that ball.
Oh,
I'm sure he gave it to Batista.
Do you know what that ball?
Yeah, I can imagine what he got for that ball.
That was a game though, and that was that whole inning was so interesting about Martin. Throwing the ball. Remember, he hit the bat.
He hit the bat.
Yeah, hit the bat. We throw him back to the pitcher.
The most crazy things happened.
And everybody was throwing their beer glasses on the field. It was really, really tense right then because I thought, umpires have been known to call games.
Yeah.
When fans get too unruly, and I'm going, oh shit, we don't want to lose the series and lose because of this.
Because of something stupid.
Yeah, some stupid idiot. But no, it settled down. But what
a roller coaster!
That was a game, and I've watched it again this year. They showed it again on.
For forever,
people.
It will be. It's a staple now, not just in Blue Jay Nation, but in baseball nation.
Oh shit, man! People have tattoos of that bat flip.
That bat flip is an iconic moment that will be etched into baseball forever.
I was watching that game. I am not, and Nolan knows this too. I am nowhere near as huge of a baseball fan as Nolan is, or you are, Brian. But I do enjoy it. Well, like when they get to the playoff, you know what? He calls it like the bandwagon thing, and which is true. Like you jump on when they start doing well, but baseball has never been a huge thing in Canada. But I remember that bat flip moment, and it's one of those moments because I was a fan back in the day, like when they won the World Series, when Joe Carter started touching those bases.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget that. Right, same with that moment, that bat flip. I'll never forget that bat flip.
Yeah. How many players, Brian, in their career, let alone hit the World Series winning home run, but then also a year later record the final out to win the World Series?
Yeah, like
that. Like you can't write that. You can't
write that.
Every kid, their dream is to either hit the winning walk-off home run to win it,
and Joe does
or to get the last out, and he's done both.
Joe did.
He did them both.
Yeah.
And it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Love you, Joe Carter.
Oh, I love that team. Alomar, Carter, White.
Allrood. Like
what a
team.
Kelly Gruber.
Kelly Gruber. And they brought. Do
you know I played a softball tournament in Mississauga at Centennial Park, and the team we were playing in the semifinals. You know where the third baseman was?
Don't tell me it was
Kelly Gruber.
It was Kelly Gruber.
It was Kelly Gruber.
Really?
That's cool.
You know what? As sharp as ever.
I bet, man.
He's just a machine.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh, he was the first J to hit for the cycle.
Was he?
Remember? Back
I did not know that.
89 or 90. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
First J. Yeah. Big thing. But he was. He played the '92 World Series, and then he was traded, and never really played again. I think he was hurt. I think he had neck injury or something really bad. He couldn't play.
Hey, it happens, right? It happens to the best of them. So
it does. It's a heartbreaker when you see those guys happen to any athlete when they get knocked out early in the game. And
for sure.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Now, I noticed, by the way, that you guys have a big banner beside you of Pittsburgh, the Steelers. So are you both Steelers fan or just one of them?
Wow.
So here's the deal. I am the Steelers fan. Me and my son, my entire family have been brainwashed into the Pittsburgh Steelers nation. And I have... I brought him along with me. So he used to be a Pats fan. You want to tell him the story? And he's sick and tired of the Pats cheating and shit. So
long story short, you know, I was a Patriots fan before Tom Brady. Okay, when they acquired Drew Bledsoe, I became a Patriots fan. And obviously, we all know the story about how he got hurt and then Brady and the whole dynasty.
Yes,
and I think. You know, I look back now and I think I was probably more of a Tom Brady fan than I may have been a Patriots fan because the way they handled his departure and Gronkowski's and the cheating and even just recently, you know, another thing came out now that they're going to be penalized for. It's just something I don't want to support. And after 24 years now, you know, it was time to make a change. And Mick reeled me in.
This studio looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, but you know what? It was important. You talked about it with the Yankees. It's important to me to not just jump onto a team that, hey, they're up and coming or they're hot right now like Kansas City, but a team that has history. So to be honest, it came down to Pittsburgh and the Bears.
And the Bears, you told me that.
And some good rich history behind them, and a large fan base. We have a large actual Steeler fan base in Toronto. That's been known to me, but it's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
for sure. Are you?
Well, they were a dynasty. They were like the Patriots back in the 70s.
Oh,
They won 4 Super Bowls. I mean, I was big. Now, I hate to tell you guys, but I'm a Bills fan.
I don't judge. No, you know what? Hey, Brian, I think very big things are about to happen for you guys.
Shut up.
Huge
I
things.
Hope so. I hope so.
I'm telling you, I was like 1 inch away from joining that bandwagon,
Brian,
and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But I tell you what, they are a real exciting team.
Have you watched these people in their tailgates?
Okay, that's animals.
That's just insane.
Crazy. Yeah.
I tell you, Brian, I took my father as a birthday surprise. Actually, I took him to Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium, for a playoff game. Yeah, against Cleveland
for his dad.
He's a Yankee fan too, and he had never been to Yankee Stadium, and he's getting a little older, and he's not well. So we did this road trip. And as a surprise on the way home was the first time for Monday Night Football, Dallas was in Buffalo. And I got a seat 10 rows behind the Dallas bench. And my dad's a Dallas fan. So we're there. We had to leave at halftime because every time Dallas scored, and it was a close game, and like my dad's older, and he's not an obnoxious fan. He just cheer and clap. There were these 2 ladies in front of us, maybe in their early to mid 50s, literally turned around, took their drink, the lid off, threw it on them with the ice, the whole thing. They're swarming in the concourse of Bills fans on Cowboy fans. I'm like, Dad, we got to get out of here. I felt more safe walking in the Bronx at night than I did being in Orchard Park.
Buffalo fans, man, they will freaking rip you a new one, man.
But that's an exciting team there.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah, it is an exciting team, and I am looking forward to seeing them this year. It should be an exciting season again, but it'll be an interesting season. I have no idea.
I hope they can finish. I rather than not start than start and not finish. That would be heartbreaking.
I just think that's where we're headed. I think they're trying to push too quickly, and I think that's exactly what's going to. We've already gotten a ton of cases already of COVID now from the NFL's tested. So it's the travel part, right? If they could have done a bubble thing and planned a little more in advance, I think they would have been fine. But
it's working for basketball and it's working for hockey,
and it worked for MLS, and it's working for some of these European teams that are doing stuff too.
We're talking about a game here. You can put all the shields under those under the cages you want, but at the end of the day, there's a pile of 7-8 guys. There's sweat. There's spit. It is very invasive. It's going to be very very difficult without a bubble to keep this thing going.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But hey, I hope it works out.
Yeah. I hope so too. I've heard stories like Jerry Jones is quoted saying he'd love to have fans in the seats.
Oh yeah, but he's a maniac.
I'm sure a couple of the states would have fans in the stadium. I think it comes down to the election in November, whether or not you might see or may see fans in the stands. Because I know if Biden gets in, the bullshit is over. Right. You're going to wear a mask. Yeah. You're not going into any stadiums and shit like that. He'll put the kibosh.
Is it not the NFL's choice?
Absolutely not. Not when it comes to people's health. You're talking world health now.
No. I'm saying, can't the NFL say there's going to be no fans or your team's not playing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can make that rule themselves. Okay. Yeah, so I think hopefully Goodell will probably say the same thing. Nope, you're not going to have fans, right? I would say he's smart enough.
You're giving the man too much credit. He's a bit of a bonehead too.
That being said,
listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But Brian, before we go here, where can we find you? Where can people follow you and stay connected?
Basically, right now they can just go into. I'm got stuff on YouTube and just Facebook. Just general things out there.
Facebook, okay.
I'm also on IMDb
Yep.
Which anybody can join, and that's actually very good to belong to because it tells you about any actor you want to know about or films they've done and records. It's pretty good. So stuff like that, yeah.
I use it quite a bit.
And, yeah. My two move. If you're on a thing called Vimeo, you subscribe to Vimeo. It's
never heard of that.
Basically, you can watch all. Vimeo is it's free to join, and you can watch basically short films and videos from all over the world. Cool. My films are on Video. One's called the Film Festival, and the other one's called Give and Take, and they're both on Vimeo right now. They will be going to
Vimeo. How do you spell that, Brian?
Vimeo.
Vimeo.
Vimeo. Okay, we'll check that out for sure. So that's awesome.
Yeah, Give and Take and the Film Festival, the two that I did, but they will be on YouTube eventually, anyways.
And you have a book coming out. What's that name? That title again?
Oh, Harrison's Hat.
Harrison's Hat.
Yeah.
So everybody, let's take a look for that. Harrison's Hat.
Yeah.
Brian, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you
so much for.
Well, guys, thank you.
Absolutely, anytime, and we would love to have you back. And I tell this to all my guests: the first time you are a guest, the second time you are family. Thank you so much again, Brian, for coming on. Everybody, Brian Kennington. Again, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian. We wish you the best.
Thank you, You too, Nolan. Take care, guys.
All right, take care, Brian.
Cheers, my friend. Bye.
Stay safe. All right, bye.
Well, everybody, that was Brian Kennington, and that was an absolutely great show.
What a nice
guy.
Eh? Oh, wow.
Completely down to earth.
You know what? I'd love to sit down with a couple beers and just.
Oh my God! I think if we could get him into the studio,
I'd
maybe
love to
once,
have him again.
I think we'd be here all night.
Yeah,
he's
we've been. Our typical podcast is anywhere between.
We're usually an hour,
50 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
we're running at an hour and 20.
We started a little after 7, though.
Okay, so let's call it an hour and 10 or 15.
Wow, that's amazing, and Brian. That's awesome. That means we were very entertained.
We didn't even do our shtick. This was all Brian.
This was all Brian. Yeah.
Usually the guest is about what 20 minutes, half hour.
We've been so fortunate with all of our guests.
Oh man,
it's been fantastic.
We've had such great people.
People, listen. If you're watching out there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I didn't say it at the beginning there, but I'm saying it now. And such a shit. And if you're listening, make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok page. Have you seen some of the TikToks?
Don't even start.
Check them all. That's at Mental Case Dad's podcast. And why don't you play me? Give me a little music, and I can. Let me see. Let me go on a rant here.
Michael rowed
the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Yeah, my babies. Well, that was a great show, man. Nolan, thank you so much for being here. Listen, everybody, if, like I said, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. But our next show, very, 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 very excited. Precious Chong.
Precious Chong,
if you don't know who that is, she's a comedian. She's an actress. And her dad, Tommy Chong, I'm sure she's got some stories about him. We will ask her on the next show of Mental Case Dads.
Growing Up Chong.
Stay tuned. Peace out. We love you lots.
Take care, all.
Cheers,
Be
everybody.
Safe.